Alright guys, I love gear as much as anyone. So much so that in my 20s, I spent the majority of my money at the time on building this studio. It was awesome, I had all the gear in the world. But over the years, I've realized that while some expenses are totally justifiable, others are a complete waste of your hard-earned cash. Take something like a gear cabinet, for example, and for hundreds of dollars, what you're really getting is a glorified wooden box with some rails in it. So I wanted to do this video basically showing you how easy it is for someone like me who has no building experience to basically create a gear rack with hardly any money and in a way that totally fits the atmosphere of my studio. Alright guys, so I picked this really cool old cabinet thing up from Marketplace for just 10 bucks. I think it's great. It kind of fits the vibe of my room and it's going to be perfect for the gear rack. First step is going to be pulling stuff apart. All right. We have these horizontal pieces of wood which are essentially holding the drawers in place. We're going to get rid of those because they're just going to get in the way of our rack mounts. So we got these metal rails out. These were essentially, you know, for the drawers to come in and out of. All right, so this one's being held in. It's got two wooden plugs kind of keeping it inside of each side here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat this out. I think what we're gonna have to do is actually saw it. So I've got good old Japanese saw here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and get a hacksaw so that I can just cut through the nails. All right. All right guys, so you can probably tell I'm not really a handyman kind of guy. I'm not that good at construction stuff. I'm kind of just figuring it out as I go. The point of this video is mostly to demonstrate that if someone like me can do this, so can you. So let's check out our piece of gear here. This thing is obviously too big for standard 19-inch rack mount unit. So we've got 22 3/4 across. We need 19 inches across to either end. That's 3 3/4, and then we need to split the difference between both sides. So that's 3 3/4 divided by 2, which is 1.875. So we need to get pieces of wood that are exactly 1.875, measure it to this length, which is 11 1/4, build them in, and then we can put the racks in. That simple. So I found this old scrap wood that I have. It's from a 200-year-old beam, and it actually happens to be the exact perfect width that we need, which is really convenient. You know, really, if this were a more modern piece, you could just go to Home Depot and get some cheap pine, but I feel like that would look real tacky against the old wood. You could always paint it black, but because I have it, I'm gonna use it, save even more money, and yeah, so let's cut this thing up. Okay, so we're getting a little under 19. I think it'll be okay. We have a little wiggle room here. So we're gonna pre-drill, get these tacked in, and we'll be good to go. These screws definitely need to go in. They can't be sticking out or they're gonna interfere with the rack. So countersinking is a must. All right, one side in, one to go. It's got the rustic vibe, that's the important thing. You know, once the gear is in it, I think it's gonna look even cooler. I got these rails off of Amazon. They fit 6 standard sized rack mount units, and I got these for I think $6. I'll put a link in the description, but super cheap, really simple. As you can see, all you got to do is mount them. Moment of truth here. Did I measure correctly? Will my gear fit? All right guys, so not only does it fit, but I think it looks pretty darn cool. What do you guys think? All right, unfortunately, the casters are attached to this back piece, so I can't just take it off. So what I'm gonna end up doing is cutting a rectangle out, which will leave the structure intact and also give me the clearance to get my cables in, be able to adjust stuff. So I'm gonna cut this right now. Time to saw. I'm gonna do this outside so I don't destroy my entire office, but this is the last step. Let's hope it goes well. We got the back done. It's looking great. This thing's pretty much done aside from, you know, some aesthetic stuff. I'm still kind of on the fence about this. Let's wait and see until the very end, but ultimately, I kind of want your guys' advice if I should stain this, paint it, or just leave it as is. What do you think, babe? Let's see what the wife thinks. All right, wife approves. Just think about all the new possibilities. This isn't just a gear rack. It's an opportunity to demonstrate your well-executed plant-to-synth ratios. Display your exquisite taste in spirits and fine literature. Show the world that you only track to tape because digital simply isn't cool enough. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a good old like and subscribe if you also have exquisite plant-to-synth ratios.